Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started, I would like to ask, recommend, beg even, for you to make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I see about 60% of you guys watch the videos and then you don't subscribe, but yet you come back for the next video to watch. This is a call out post, honestly. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, as anybody that enjoys the zodiac, we would know that the second sign is Taurus, which is an earth sign. That's why we'll be going over it today. Now, to start off with Taurus, I love Tauruses. I have a Taurus moon, honestly. I live with a Taurus. I know several Tauruses, but if you know the structure of Zodiac Zaturday, you know for a fact that we start off with the negatives. That way we can end on a positive note for y'all. Now, a negative for a Taurus, it's, pretty easy. Besides the fact that every male Taurus I have ever met has been emotionally, if not outright physically abusive to somebody in their life, then we can talk about how they tend to be the couch potato, which I relate as a Taurus moon. That's me. They tend to love food, which again, relatable. And also they just kind of sometimes seem emotionally disconnected. Now, those are all, things that for most people would be considered, kind of just normal, like everyday things. But, like I said, this is my personal opinion on the signs, and I have to come up with something I dislike. Not all of these signs, I have an easy time thinking of something that I dislike, and Taurus would have been one of them because they're easy to come for being, a little bit lazier or a little bit more into food or a little bit more disconnected from reality. Now, the things that I like about a Taurus is they seem so motherly to me. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it, but a Taurus has a good sense of humor when they have a good day. They're very smart. They may come off as people that don't pay attention, people that don't really understand what's going on, but if you dig deep into them, like they know what's happening. They probably know more than you, honestly. This is one specific friend I have. She has the biggest vocabulary out of anybody I know, and it's just so funny to listen to her tell a story, because she'll just say like a 15-letter word and you're kind of like, what? Like, you know what it means out of context clues, but you're just like, it's crazy. You're like, oh my God, what in the world are you talking about? But we get it, sis. Now, if you know the structure of Zodiac Zaturday, like I said earlier, we take a little peep into the cup of stars to figure out what the extra prompt is going to be for each sign. So, we're gonna dig up in there. Again, we're just gonna find from the bottom, and I will read out the prompt for y'all. It says, what would you change about this sign? Drop the prompt. What I would change about this sign in particular is probably, I would like them to just get out of their element more. Like I said, Tauruses are pretty big couch potatoes, and as a Taurus moon, I can relate to that. I think if a Taurus would just put themselves out there more often, they would figure out that the world is not as scary, it's not as horrible, it's not as, frightening as it could be, or as that it is in their mind. So I would definitely suggest to Tauruses, just go out, just have fun, just live your life. It doesn't matter if, you're a bit nervous or whatever. Maybe you're just lazy, who knows? But it's always good to get out of the house and get some fresh air every now and again. Can I get an amen, ladies and gentlemen? Can I get an amen? Where my people at? Where my people at? Now, moving on to the next earth sign, which is Virgo. Now, one of my very best Judies in the world is a Virgo, and she'll know who she is whenever she's watching this. So I would hate to say anything mean that would, you know, hurt her feelings. But as we all know, what's a friend if you can't shade each other? So we're just gonna go in on it. Now, Virgos, they talk a lot. Like, a lot. I am a Virgo rising, so I have very heavy earth influence in my chart. So I can relate to this, again. Let me paint a picture for you. Whenever I first met this girl, I had no intentions of calling, FaceTiming anybody, my own mother at the time. I'm like, I'll text. That's plenty of interaction for me. I met this girl, and probably a week later, I was getting phone calls every day, FaceTime requests every day, and at first, I was so completely like, what in the world is going on here? I was very honestly, like, I was overwhelmed to say the least, and it was like, wow, because I've never had somebody, you know, come on so quickly as to communicate. I'm so used to people just being like, maybe like, oh, let's hang out sometime, and then maybe a month later be like, hey, what you doing? You know, so it caught me off guard. But I will say, as the positives of Virgo, they, again, just like all of the earth signs, honestly, are very motherly. They care about your well-being. They want you to do right. And this Virgo that I'm talking about, now I don't think I could live a day without the daily phone call that lasts probably, you know, anywhere from 2 to 2.5 to 3 hours. FaceTime. I don't think I could live without that, honestly. And it's one of those things that it's like, it's just, we could be sitting on there, like, just looking at each other. And it's something that, it's comforting now that I'm used to it. And Virgos, they are so analytical that you could miss a topic probably, or you could miss a detail about something, and some tea that you're trying to spill, and they will already in their minds have the entire like outcome playing out in their head. They know what's going to happen, they know when it's going to happen, and they know how it's going to happen, which is admirable. Now, before I talk about Virgos any longer, we're going to go ahead and pull out of the Cup of Stars and figure out what in the world we're going to have the last prompt be. So we're going to go up in there. Oh God, I'm nervous. It says, what would you steal from this sign? What would you steal? Very easy. As a Virgo rising, I have some of the tendencies of a Virgo, obviously. However, I am not very talkative whenever I first meet somebody. I'm very shy, and it takes me forever to get out of my shell. So ironically enough, I would steal the thing that I said at first was a negative about Virgos, because it was without how much they talk, I don't think it would be as easy for them to make friends. I mean, obviously you have to communicate to make a friend, but I think that that's what I would steal from them. The fact that they can just talk to a fence post for 30 minutes about the color orange, you know, that's what I would steal. And I'm very, you know, passionate about that. It literally sounds like somebody's breaking into my house, by the way. So that's why I keep like looking over there, but it's probably the ice maker. But, anyway, we're gonna move on to the last earth sign of the zodiac, and that's Capricorn. And I've already kind of shaded Capricorn the tiniest little bit in my intro video, but that was all in jest. It was all fun and games, you know, like, it was all in jest. Honestly, Capricorns are just fine. I just think that Okay. Before I, spill the guts on why I like them. The negatives of a Capricorn is they are that person that will cut you at your Achilles heel in order to get ahead of you at work or in school or just about anywhere. They are very work motivated. They are almost to an extreme hard workers. They're workaholics to say the very least. And they're the sign that really has it all together, honestly. Now, I said in my intro video, and if you guys haven't seen that, maybe I'll try to place her up there as well. I said in my intro video that I would make a little zodiac video and talk about what I think about the signs, except for Capricorn, because I may forget them. And honestly, the reason I said that is because whenever I'm thinking through the zodiac, I'm thinking of the flaws in all of the zodiac signs, and being a workaholic is not really a flaw. So it's hard for me to remember, just as the 2019 little kid that I am, all I can think of is the negatives and stuff. So whenever I'm looking through the zodiac and I see Capricorn, I'm like, oh yeah, there they are, I forgot. And it's because there's really not too much that's negative about them, and the negative, or the reason that they don't have anything negative is honestly kind of what makes them maybe a little bit boring, is what I would say the main negative is. Now, the positive of the Capricorn is, for sure, they are the type that will get stuff done. They're the people in the group project that, you can just sit there and the Capricorn will have it done in 30 minutes. Like, okay. Like, you're over here sitting with your good Judy from across the, the little table, the aisle thing, and the Capricorn's like already typing all of y'all's names into the project and submitting it to the teacher, and you're just kind of like, did we start? Like, did we get everything done? And that comes in handy. I really appreciate that from them. Now, I do have a really funny story about a Capricorn one time, and I don't know if the person I'm talking about will remember this because it was a while ago. But like I said, I'm a Virgo rising, so I remember just about every detail about every little thing that doesn't matter to my life, any, like a math exam, I'm out the window, but any other thing, I'm like picking up on all the details. So this girl from across the table was like, so what's your least favorite sign? And I was just like, honestly, Capricorn, because they're so irrelevant. And this was like 2-3 years ago, so I've kind of changed my mind on that. But I was like, Capricorn, because they're so irrelevant. And the girl was just like, oh my god, cool. And I was like, so what sign are you? And she said, I'm a Capricorn. And I was just like, yike, oh my god, I hope I didn't like ruin the chance at a friendship. But no, girl, you're very safe, you're very, kind. Every time I see you, I give you the biggest hug. Don't see you very often, but we should change that, honey. Anyway, let's move on to the Cup of Stars for one last time this video, and maybe this time I'll actually see if y'all can read it, and then I'll read it out. Let's see if it'll focus though. Okay, so you have everything going. Ooh, I got one. All right. Ooh. Favorite celeb with this sign. I knew I was gonna get this question for a sign that I didn't know a celebrity under off the top of my head. So I'm going to take a pause here and insert a clip after I'm done filming that you guys can see who my favorite celeb is. So, okay, Capricorns, I'm really not trying to be shady at all, but after I got done filming, I literally completely forgot that I was supposed to look up a celebrity. So one, this is on a different night in general, and then two, whenever I was going through the list of celebrities that y'all had, it was a pig. It was a pick now. All right, so let me just run through some of them that y'all have. Jake Paul, Nash Greer, Meghan Trainor, Louis Tomlinson. You have Noah Cyrus. But whenever I was going through it, I was shocked that I didn't think of this sooner, because literally it just happened. So I'm kind of disappointed in myself, but of course my favorite Capricorn right now that is alive is Kim Taehyung from BTS, V, if you don't know. Of course V would be my favorite. Like, that's obvious. Here, I've never done a moving camera, but like, here's the BTS like poster in my room. So that's T. Couldn't believe I couldn't think of that sooner, but there you go. At least you have something to look forward to. All right, you're back. I see that you figured out what my favorite celeb was. I, at this point, haven't looked it up yet. I'm just continuing this until the very end. I would like to say thank you guys for watching at the very end of this Zodiac Saturday. Stay tuned next week whenever we talk about air signs, you know, everyone's favorite, you know. So, I wanted to say bye. I love you. You're gorgeous. You're beautiful. You're the best in the world. You should love yourself. You should love others. Good night. Good weekend. Good upcoming week. Good, etc. I love you. Mwah.
I found a truth that I can speak to.